If you want to be a top 1% AI user, you really need to understand humans in the loop. I'm going to explain it here really simply. Humans in the loop is about designing AI so that people stay in charge. If you have an AI system that is fully automated, where decisions are made, implemented, and scaled with little or no human input, you're going to run into problems. And that's because AI systems are fundamentally flawed in 3 ways. First, AI systems are not programmed. They are trained on large amounts of data that usually includes the whole internet. So the information that they're trained on contains biases, errors, mistakes, and they can repeat those biases, errors, and mistakes in their output. Second, AI systems hallucinate, which means that they make stuff up. And they do it all the time. And that can be very dangerous because if the system is acting completely autonomously and making stuff up, then it is definitely not doing what it should be doing. And third, they're sycophantic, which means they like to make you, the user, feel good. They tend to prioritize something helpful and positive over telling the truth. And if you want a better understanding of these 3 concepts, which I think is absolutely fundamental to thriving in the age of AI, then I have a video called What the F is a Large Language Model Anyway that I've linked to in the description. It explains how they work very simply, and it's based on a presentation I've delivered to over 1,000 people. So back to humans in the loop. Let me give you 2 concrete examples. Air Canada set up an AI chatbot on its website to help its customers. Great idea, right? A passenger asked the chatbot about bereavement fares for a funeral that he needed to attend. The chatbot told him he could buy a ticket now and claim a bereavement discount in the future, so retroactively. That was completely wrong, totally made up. It wasn't what Air Canada offered. But the chatbot said it confidently, and that's hallucination at work. So the guy bought the ticket, applied for the refund afterwards, and Air Canada refused. He ended up taking them to court and he won. They had to refund him because their AI gave false information and no human checked it before it caused damage. Now, take another example. I love this one. A car dealership in the US put an AI chatbot on their website. A user asked if he could buy a brand new Chevy Tahoe for $1. Okay, he asked it in a very clever way, but still. The chatbot agreed. It said, yes, that's a legally binding offer. And that's sycophancy at work. It was prioritizing being agreeable and helpful over being accurate or safe. Technically, the dealership had to honor this $1 SUV, although we don't know if they actually ever did. So fully autonomous AI is very dangerous. It is riddled with errors and risks. So what's the alternative? The alternative is designing AI so that people stay in charge. And humans in the loop means the system is deliberately designed so humans can guide it, review it, override it, or collaborate with it at key points, instead of the AI acting completely alone. And this matters for accuracy and quality because humans catch things models miss. Humans understand nuance. We can think critically. We can think with empathy. We can think in context. We're not trained on the internet, we're trained on the real world. Okay, we're also trained a bit on the internet, but mostly we're trained on the real world. That means we can see gaps and implications models usually don't. Humans are also much more in tune with ethics and safety. AI models are notoriously bad at dealing with ethical dilemmas. Intelligent humans, okay, not all humans, but intelligent humans like you, sycophancy, can spot unintended consequences before they go too far and can cause real damage. And most importantly, there's accountability. If something goes wrong, there is a named human decision maker who is accountable. Not, oh, the algorithm did it. An actual person who is responsible. So if you go back to the Air Canada and the Chevy dealer example, this is what that looks like in practice. You have a human reviewing what the chatbot is saying before it goes live with customers, or a human monitoring customer interactions and stepping in when something's going off course, or at a minimum, a system designed so that major commitments like refund policies or pricing require human approval before they're binding. And this is the best way to leverage AI. And as far as I'm concerned, it's actually the only way to leverage AI. If you want to be a top 1% AI thinker and user, you have to be the human in the loop. You have the domain expertise, you have the ability to think critically, you have the psychological literacy, you have the empathy, I hope. These are very, very important skills. And when we over-rely on the AI, we create real danger for ourselves and our businesses. That's where things go wrong. So how do you design humans in the loop AI into your life and your business? I've designed a 3-part framework, ACA, to help you do that. First, answer these questions. What are we trying to achieve with this AI system? What decisions are being made? Who is going to be affected by those decisions? And who might be unintentionally affected? Then we look at checkpoints. Where does a human need to step in? Before generation, before publication, before implementation? What are the critical points, the checkpoints where a smart human needs sign-off? And third, accountability. Who is responsible? Who is this human? And what are they actually responsible for? That's how you integrate AI where it genuinely adds value and protect yourself where it poses risks. So well done, you now understand humans in the loop, which is a core concept of AI. And that means you are well on your way to becoming a top 1% AI user and thinker. If you want to get your head around this, if you really want to understand why AI hallucinates, why it's biased, and why it's sycophantic, then watch my next video. What the F is a large language model anyway? It explains these concepts in detail for non-techie people. I've linked to it in the description and it's probably up there or up there somewhere on this video for you to click on now. Thanks for watching.